Hello, Damajoba. My name is Jim. Welcome to my channel about books and reading and stuff. John Steinbeck wrote in a Russian journal, which was published in 1948, that wherever he went in Russia, the magical name of Georgia came up constantly. The southern land in the Caucasus, with its Black Sea coast and vineyards, was spoken of as a kind of second heaven. In this video, which I'm going to call Georgian Literature 101, I want to talk about some of the Georgian works of literature available in English. But first, I want to read a short poem. Morning. The rosebuds had blossomed out. Reaching out to touch the violet, the lily was waking up and bending its head in the breeze. High in the clouds, the lark was singing a chirruping hymn, while the joyful nightingale with a gentle voice was saying, "Be full of blossom, O lovely hand, rejoice, Iverian's country, and you, O Georgian, by studying, bring joy to your motherland." Morning was published under the pen name of Sosolo. Sosolo was the pen name of Yuseb Yugashvili. It was dedicated to Prince Raphael Eristavi in Iveria, which was the magazine of Ilia Chavchavadze, one of Georgia's greatest writers. Yuseb Yugashvili was just 17 at the time. He later became known to you and to the world as one Joseph Stalin. Stalin knew The Knight in the Panther Skin, Vephqistqaosani by heart. The Knight in the Panther Skin, or Vephqistqaosani by Rustaveli, is the most famous work of Georgian literature. This epic poem, written by Rustaveli in the early 12th century in homage to Tamar, has been translated into English 5 times. First by Marjorie Wardrop, who was the sister of the British ambassador, and more recently in 2016 by Lyn Coffin, an American translator, which won the Saba Prize for the best translation. There are a lot of Georgian poets. This is Vazha-Pshavela. He is a favourite of many Georgians. This has been translated by Donald Rayfield. Donald Rayfield is Emeritus Professor of Russian and Georgian at Queen Mary University of London. This was translated in 1981. This was published in the Soviet Union. But the problem with poetry is it's very difficult to translate into another language and keep the same style, the same rhythm, the same cadence. I didn't enjoy this. This is 3 poems. If I could read this in Georgian, this would be better. Here is Vazha-Pshavela's Poememi in Georgian. One day I hope to be able to read it. I've been living in Georgia for 11 years now. I made a video about my time in Georgia, the pros and cons, which I'll link to here. And my struggles with the language have been continual. I've got a blog about that, which I'll put in the show notes. Georgian is very different to English. There's not many words which are similar. Georgian has its own unique alphabet, and Georgian has lots of consonant clusters. One of the few poets I've read in Georgian, my favourite is Galaktion Tabidze. This is a collection of his poems. These are in Georgian and in English. This was translated by Ines Merabishvili, Professor of English and Linguistics at the State University of Tbilisi. His most famous poem is Kari Kris, When the Wind Blows. Kari Kris, Kari Kris, Kari Kris. Potlebi Mkrian Kadaka. Heta Rigs, Heta Jazz Kalad Kris. Sadaha, Sadaha, Sadaha. Those are the first lines in Georgian. The attempt to translate this in English is not so great. This is not the fault of the translator, it's just poetry is really difficult to translate. Whirls the wind, whirls the wind, whirls the wind, and the leaves whirl from wind still to wind. Rows of trees, lines of trees bend in arch. Where art thou? Where art thou? Why so far? Again, the first 4 lines with this English translation. The whirls, the wind is trying to get the same sort of sound like Kari Kris, Kari Kris, Kari Kris. Some other Georgian books I have in English. This is Grigol Abashidze, Lasharella. This is another one published in the Soviet Union. I get these from Drybridge Market, where there's a friend, Tamar, who sells many Georgian books in translation, not just English translation, also Russian translation, French translation, German, Italian translations, and mostly from the Soviet era. This one I haven't started yet. This is historical fiction, also set at the time, 12th century, the time of King Tamar, Tamar Mepe. This is not Georgian, but it's about the Georgian queen Tamar Mepe, or King Tamar, The Girl King by Meg Clothier. This was a fascinating read. It's historical fiction and it follows the life of Queen Tamar, or King Tamar, as you wish to see it. I've yet to find any modern Georgian books that I really like. This, The Secret of Another Desert by Iacotelli, I really didn't like. It's in the romance genre. The translation is bad, there's lots of mistakes, and the geography in it is awful. It's about a Georgian girl who's got absolutely no character, and she goes to Egypt, where she falls in love with somebody who kidnaps her, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend this. Another book I see a lot is this one, Vazha-Pshavela, Flights from the USSR. This is about a group of young Georgians who hijacked a plane in the last few years of the Soviet Union and what happens to them. But again, this is not a very engaging story. My favourite book so far of a Georgian writer that I've read in English is this one, Nododumbadze, Granny, Iliko, Ilarian and I. This is set in Guria in the 1940s. There's a lot of comedy. Nododumbadze is a great writer and it's been translated well, and there's a lot of humour about these odd assortment of characters. Also by Nododumbadze is this, Lexabi. These are rhymes for children of about 6. This is about my level of Georgian, if that. I'm trying to read it with the help of Google Translate. As you can see, Georgian script, this strange elven-like script, is very different to Roman letters. One Georgian book I've heard that is very good is The Eighth Life by Nino Haratishvili. This is the Georgian version. Nino Haratishvili lives in Germany, and this was originally written in German. It's been translated in English. It was longlisted for the Booker Prize, and it's got a lot of good reviews. I know Roz from Skallydandling about the books has read Iacotelli. I haven't yet read any Iacotelli. Also, if you're Georgian and watching this and know some good books in Georgian that have been translated into English, please let me know in the comments. I would like to read some more Georgian literature. I haven't been very satisfied with what I've read so far.
შემოდგომა მოვიდა წითელ ყვითელ ფერებით მოსავალმა ავწო ჩვენი მინდორველები დაიტვირთნენ ვაზები დაიტვირთნენ ტევნები აღაშღაზნენ ვაშლები გადაყვითლენ ტევრები სადღაც ბოლოს ბუხარი სადღაც შეშაიპობა ყველგან ისმის ჩურჩული მწიფობა შემოდგომაზე ლექსი დაწერა მურმან ლებანიძემ.
That was my granddaughter reciting Shemodgoma, or Autumn, by Murman Lebanidze. If you like this video, you can like and subscribe below. If you have any comments or questions, again, you can put them in the comments below. and I will see you on the next video. Bye bye, or in Georgian we might say nachwamdis or kagad.